right, Chair, we are in public session.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well this morning. We're now in public session of the June 28, 2022 Joint Commission of Public Ethics meeting. The last meeting, I believe it may be the last meeting of the commission. As of July 8th, this commission will cease to exist and our tenure will end. The staff and the officers will transition to a new commission, and there'll be that will be assembled after July 8th. I just want to take this opportunity to say it was my honor to be appointed as chair of this commission to serve alongside my fellow commissioners who I have great respect for. And I want to recognize the excellent work of Executive Director Stanford Berland and the other directors and staff of JCO who have shown to me that their professionalism and excellence, they're truly experts in the field, and I had the privilege and the honor to work with them as a team of public servants. So I want to thank all the staff for the work that they've put in over the last few months. I know it was a very difficult transition at this point, and hopefully it'll be a better transition to the next commission that will be assembled after July 8th.
If I may, Mr. Chair.
We'll start the meeting. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say on behalf of the staff, thank you very much for those comments. I have some remarks I would like to make, but I'd like to reserve for the end of the meeting before we conclude later today, if that's all right. But thank you. Yeah, we're ready to proceed.
That's perfectly fine. And any commissioners who want to make comment as well, given that this will be the last meeting, I welcome the comments of fellow commissioners. Having said that, let's call the meeting to order.
I can report that we do have a quorum of commissioners.
Very good.
Mr. Chairman.
Let's go into the approval of minutes. Yes, Commissioner Levine.
If I may, at this juncture, I want to express to you congratulations, and I hope I can speak for every commissioner who has served under your aegis. Congratulations to you for taking on, at the behest of the governor, a very daunting task. And I can state authoritatively, not only by dint of experience, having been on the commission for most of its existence, but having observed you at close quarters during your tenure, there is no question that the public interest was significantly advanced by your leadership. Thank you for letting me express myself.
Thank you, Commissioner Levine. All right, so let's begin with the approval of the minutes of April 8th as amended and May 24th. Who was not here for May 24th, I'll be abstaining from that vote. But let's take a vote on the approval of April 8th, 2022. All in favor?
Can we do a roll call, Chair?
Yes.
Okay.
We need a motion and a second. And we can do the minutes separately or do both together.
I'll make the motion, Fisher.
I think that's fine.
Thank you.
All right, so motion was made by Commissioner Fisher, second by Commissioner Weissman, and all in favor.
All right.
And the roll call can begin.
Roll call. Judge Braun.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner DePiero.
Yes.
Commissioner Fisher.
Yes.
Commissioner Gerstmann.
Yes.
Commissioner Hinrichs.
Yes.
Commissioner Jacob.
Yes.
Commissioner Levine.
Yes.
Commissioner McNamara. Commissioner McNamara?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Weissman.
Yes.
Judge Yates.
Yes.
Chair Nieves.
Yes.
Okay. And that was for the 4-8 minutes, correct? We're doing them separately?
Correct. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unanimous.
So a second motion for May. Thank you. Second motion for the May 24th.
McNamara, so moved.
McNamara moved.
Second.
Brown.
Commissioner
Second by
Gerstmann.
Commissioner Brown.
Brown.
Sorry.
All in favor?
Okay.
Oops, sorry.
Judge Braun,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner DePiero,
Yes.
Commissioner Fisher,
Yes.
Commissioner Gersman,
Yes.
Judge Hendricks,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacob,
Yes.
Commissioner Levine,
Yes.
Commissioner McNamara,
Yes.
Commissioner Weissman,
Yes.
and Chair Nieves, you're abstaining.
Correct.
Okay, 11 to 0 to 1.
Yates?
Oh, sorry,
I meant
Judge
to
Yates,
skip-
apologies.
Yes.
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 Okay. 11 to 0 to 1 passes.
Thank you. Who's reporting on the operations update and recap?
I will, Mr. Chair. The operations report for the month of May is under Attachment C, as expected because of the FDS filing deadline mid-month, surge in FDS filings. Staff is happy to answer any questions commissioners may have with respect to the report. At this time, inasmuch as this is the last scheduled meeting of the commission, I thought I would take the opportunity to recap our statistics since the commission began operations over a decade ago. And I'll do it by categories that more or less correspond to those in the operations report. FDS filings, the commission has processed in that period of time over 315,000. Ethics guidance, the commission has issued 17 formal advisory opinions and over 4,000 written responses to inquiries and requests for informal opinions. That's over 4,000. Lobbying filings, the commission has processed over 500,000 registrations, bi-monthly, semi-annual, amended reports, and similar filings. Lobbying guidance, the commission has responded to over 300,000 requests for lobbying guidance. Audits in lobbying from 2014 and on the financial disclosure statement side from 2015, well over 10,000 audits have been conducted. The commission has received and processed over 1,700 complaints. It's issued 286 15-day letters. It has opened 165 formal investigations. It's entered into 147 settlements and 4 civil assessments, representing over $1.8 million in fines. Ethics trainings conducted by JACO, by the agency, and under its oversight. That includes comprehensive ethics, the comprehensive ethics training course, the long-form course, since 2013, and ethics seminars that have been conducted since 2016. Over 75,000 trainings have been conducted by the agency. So that's a kind of overview of commission activity since its inception, which I believe is an extremely impressive record, and we don't talk about it enough. Coming back to the current period, I wanted to add that this is not reflected in the operations report. It don't fit into those categories. We did publish an ethics reminder on political campaigns on May 13. We posted the financial disclosure statements of the statewide elected officials on our website on May 17, and we posted the legislators' FDS filings last week. Those are first filed with the LEC and then come over to us. In the month, we announced 2 settlements in enforcement matters, one with a lobbying firm of Bolton St. John's with respect to late filed registrations, registration statements, amendments, and bi-monthly reports. The settlement was for $97,417. The other matter involved an MTA employee, Shivanand Kalaprasad Singh, concerning misuse of MTA resources in connection with an outside tax preparation business he and his wife operated. as well as for underreporting their income on their FDSs in his FDS in 2018 and 2019. The settlement calls for the respondent to amend his FDSs for those years and to pay an $8,000 penalty. In addition, we issued a state technology law section 208 notification to well over 45,000 individuals, both by mail and email, including some second emailings to individuals with respect to the cybersecurity incident that occurred in February. In addition, staff responded to 2 requests from the Executive Chamber for comment on bills that had been passed by the legislature. One was S-202, which amended Legislative Law 1-CW, the definition of reportable business relationships. And the other concerned A-10144, which amended Public Officers Law Section 31 sub E, which reconciled a disparity between the treatment of guilty pleas in federal court and in state court. And that provision has to do with creating an immediate vacancy when there's a felony plea or a plea to breach of trust. In federal criminal procedure, the judgment isn't entered until the sentence is imposed. In state proceedings, the judgment is deemed entered immediately. So there was a disparity in the timing of the vacancy, and this bill is intended to reconcile that. The other update we have is with respect to the annual report. It's in the stages of final cleanup, and commissioners should be seeing a final draft for their review in the next day or two. And we will be issuing that to the legislature and to the governor next week after the holiday. And that's what we have for report from staff. Any questions? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Executive Director Berlin. Who's reporting on the adoption of proposed revisions of adjudicatory proceedings?
I will kick it off, and then Associate Counsel Megan Motolo will just give an overview of the recent history of the proposed amendments. These are amendments to Part 941 of Title 19 of NYCRR, the Commission's Adjudicatory Proceedings and Appeals, processes and procedures. The amendments largely are aimed at clarifying some of the definitions in Section 941.2, in clarifying some items in 941.3, which deals with notices of substantial basis investigation and hearing. And in principal part, the amendments address Section 941.16 and expand the ranges and procedures for providing information relating to investigative and enforcement matters. And Megan, would you like to provide the commissioners with a history of these amendments, recent history?
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure. So the first emergency went into effect on January 25th, and that was effective until April 25th. A subsequent emergency adoption was filed on April 25th, and that was in effect until last Friday, June 24th. And then another emergency adoption was filed on June 24th, and that'll take us until August 23rd, that these regulations will be in effect on an emergency basis.
All right. Thank you.
So this is something we need to vote on, correct?
Yes. At the last meeting, we didn't advance the proposal, taking into account the revisions that appear in NYCRR, in the new legislation that was passed at the beginning of April by the legislature, amending Section 94 of the executive law. and changing some of the provisions having to do with the information the Commission provides, but also, excuse me, but also provides for the incorporation of FOIL into the Commission's procedures. But at least one commissioner had suggested that it would make sense to consider adopting the proposed amendments on a permanent basis and leave to the new commission and their subsequent review any decision as to whether to retain or modify those in light of the new FOIL obligations. I should add that we, because of the emergency adoption, as well as the new communications policy that the Commission adopted last July 2021, these are the combined procedures along with the records access request procedures we have, under which the Commission has been operating since the beginning of the year. And if the Commission takes no action, the regulations on an emergency basis would remain in effect, and to that extent would be preserved by the new statute, which leaves the Commission's regulations in place subject to evaluation by the new Commission. But in this case, it would be remain in effect until, I think it's August 28th in any event.
So is there a motion? Commissioner?
I think Commissioner Levine may have had his, I can't tell.
Commissioner Weissman has his hand up.
Commissioner Weissman. Commissioner Weissman?
Is the motion to make it permanent?
Yes.
To adopt.
Go ahead, Commissioner Weissman.
You may be muted.
So the motion is, yeah, I think the motion is being made by Commissioner Weissman. Is that correct, Commissioner Weissman?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And it's being second.
DePuro seconds.
Second by Commissioner DePuro.
Okay. I'll call the roll. Judge Braun.
Just to clarify,
Oh, sorry.
hold on. Yeah, just to clarify, the motion is for the adoption, the permanent adoption of the proposed revisions of the adjudicatory proceeding, and allowing the new commission to revise or change any of these proposed revisions as they see fit. Go ahead, you can take the vote.
Okay. Judge Braun.
Thank you. Firstly, I want to compliment our staff for yet again doing a very excellent job putting together these amendments to the regulations and the commissioners who worked on it. But I have a major qualm. Given the fact that JCOPE will no longer exist as of July 8th and the new commission will come into effect, and these regulations will remain in effect on an emergency basis till toward the end of August, what's the need to pass these on a permanent basis now? I don't see such a need. Sorry, sounds like somebody knocked on my door. That's my big qualm I have. Why is there a need to do this now? I understand that a lot of work's been put in to this, and it's kind of a shame that if that work falls by the wayside. But is that the compelling reason that some commissioners feel we should pass this now on a permanent basis? Otherwise, I'd like to hear from commissioners why they think we should do so.
Are there any other comments?
I'd like to respond to Commissioner Braun quickly.
Go ahead, Commissioner Weissman.
Thank you very much, Chair. I think this, by doing it on a permanent basis, this will give the new commission more time to sort out what they need to keep, maybe things they would need to jettison, and what they may need to add. By doing it on an emergency basis, I think I don't think we should be putting a gun to somebody's head to get things done when they're coming in and they're having so much to deal with. As Commissioner Braun, you learned when you first got on the commission, the learning curve was incredible.
Yeah, so, it wasn't that bad.
And you admitted that on a number of occasions. So I just think that doing this on a permanent basis will give them a little more relief in terms of also figuring out and prioritizing what they believe is important. So thank you.
So I also may add that we don't know if there will be a new commission completely assembled and ready to function by the August 28th date. So it may be that they do get assembled. They're ready to go on July 29th, right? You know, whatever date they put together. But we don't know that. I just want to make sure we have them briefs so that when they do and so they're able to amend it as they see fit. Any other comments by commissioners?
Commissioner Fisher has his hand up.
Go ahead, Commissioner Fisher.
Thank you, Chair. I'm going to oppose the resolution to make this permanent. I remain very concerned about Section 941.16 that allows us, by a mere vote of the Commission, that we could actually disclose testimony received by the Commission. I think that's a colossally bad idea, and on a temporary basis, while we're accepting comment, that's one thing. But to go ahead and make this permanent without having a robust discussion about this or any other things that would normally have a public, a lengthy process, I think is ill-conceived. So I'm going to oppose making this permanent.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Fisher. Anyone else? Commissioner Braun?
Yeah, I'm still weighing in my mind how I'm going to vote. I've been thinking about this since the new commission was enacted by the legislature, and including what was said a few minutes ago by you, Mr. Chair, how the new commission, if we made it permanent, could amend or even do away with the regulation if they wanted. In terms of what Commissioner Fisher just said, and I've taken this position before, I believe strongly in transparency in government, and the statute for JCOB does provide that the commissioners can vote to open up confidential information to the public, and we do have regulations on that now. So on the merits of the one issue that Commissioner Fisher raised, I don't have a problem with that. And we'll have to stay for now.
And I'll just add that while I agree with Commissioner Fisher and I share his concerns, because initially when this regulations or revisions were proposed, I voted against it, and I did so because I felt that in the spirit of transparency, that information should be released on an automatic basis, not by a majority vote of the commission. However, having had the regulation in place for some time now, and seeing how it functions, it appears to me that a step towards more transparency is better than none. So although I disagree that with Commissioner Fisher that there is a concern subjecting the transparency vote of commissioners majority vote, I still believe that some transparency to that. Anyone else? Mr. Commissioner Jacob.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
as I recall, there was a comment period. I've yet to hear a summary of any of the comments and whether we've heard during the comment period to objections that have similar to the one raised by Commissioner Fisher. So can we understand what the comments were and whether there were comments that opposed enacting this regulation or rule on a permanent basis?
Mr. Chair?
Yeah, may I respond?
Commissioner Braun, go ahead.
Before you speak, Executive Director Berlin,
Yes.
I just wanted to add to what Commissioner Jacob just said. I actually thought of that, but didn't mention that I too would like to hear about comments, and I'm sure other commissioners would also. But I'd like a more expansive report. It doesn't have to be in reading every comment to the extent there were any or some, but the gist of the comments beyond just the one area that Commissioner Jacob just spoke of. But if there are any other substantive or procedural comments, we should know about it. So
yeah.
I thank you, Commissioner, Mr. Chair.
If I'm,
Executive Director Berlin.
yes.
And we'll take Commissioner Kerr.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Gersman, or after.
I would like to speak in opposition to the point respectfully that Commissioner Fisher made. This was not done without full debate. We did that at a prior meeting. The chair has already alluded to the vote. And I don't think that's that may be a reason why personally do not want to approve this regulation, but I don't think it's fair to say that there has not been adequate debate or fully airing of the positions. I also do think, as part of our legacy, we have been criticized for many things, and one of them is lack of transparency. And I think it's important, even in our waning days, to make the statement that we have been in favor of transparency, except to the extent that we are constrained by the statute that created us and controls us. And I believe that these regulations make an important step in communicating that to the public.
Thank you, Commissioner Gersman. Go ahead, Executive Director Berlin.
Yes, at the last commission meeting, we did provide a summary of the comments received, and we had previously, I believe, circulated them. I believe there were only 3 comments received. Each one of them requested that the comment period be extended as we awaited action or not by the legislature with respect to changes to the commission or the commission structure. Indeed, the commission has extended the comment period a number of times, most recently until the end of May. We have received no other comments since that time, so there are no other comments to provide to the commission.
Thank you.
So that's precisely where we stand on this.
Commissioner Jacob.
Yeah, I would like to echo Commissioner Gersman's comments. We spent months in and out of confidentiality meetings, bringing this to the full commission, not once, but more than once. There's been robust debate and a good deal of it on this very subject. And as the commission will recall, it was raised, among other reasons, because of the criticisms lodged at this commission for the excessive secrecy we had engaged in since our inception. And there it was, looking at us, a provision in the statute which authorizes exactly what we are doing. And it authorizes it so that it can be greater transparency. So I would again, as being the commissioner who proposed this, who moved it, to again urge that we do this on a permanent basis. The new commission will have every opportunity, should it so desire, to modify or vacate. But we ought not to leave this piece of business undone after all the work we've done to achieve it.
Any questions? don't see any hands. All right, so let's take a roll call vote.
Judge Braun,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner DePiero,
Yes.
Commissioner Fisher,
No.
Commissioner Gersman,
Yes.
Judge Hendricks,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacob,
Yes.
Commissioner Levine,
Yes.
Commissioner McNamara,
Yes.
Commissioner Weissman,
Yes.
Judge Yates,
Yes.
Chair Nieves.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. We're moving on to new and other business. Does anyone want to be recognized? Commissioner Braun.
I want to reiterate what you, Mr. Chair, and Commissioner Levine said at the beginning. It's been my pleasure and honor to serve on this commission, to see how serious and comprehensively the commissions and the staff have performed their roles and responsibilities. The one great regret I have is that due to the time that we've been in since I started on the commission about 1.5 years ago, given the pandemic, that I haven't been able to meet in person anybody but our executive director and one staff member, and Commissioner Yates and I know each other from having served together in Supreme Court, Manhattan. So it's a shame that we haven't had the opportunity to meet. Hopefully we'll meet in the future in person in some manner. But I just wanted to put out there that it's been my pleasure to serve with you all. I also want to mention your predecessor, Chair Nieves, Commissioner Barlack, who is also a pleasure to serve with. And that said, we have a lot of business. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Any other commissioners have comment? Commissioner Gersman.
Mr. Chair, I would just like to echo the comments that have already been made with respect to you and the staff, but also to say for those of us that are relatively new appointments to this commission, we've had the opportunity to listen to how the media has categorized this commission over the years of its existence. And I have to say, upon coming to this commission, I found all of the commissioners and all of the staff to be serious, to do their work with the greatest amount of integrity, without political bias, and I believe serve the public well. And I would like it entered on the public record that the media has been wrong, at least with respect to this commission, these commissioners, as we are currently constituted. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Gersman. All right. Can I have a motion to enter into the executive session?
Before we do that, Chair, there had been a request from at least one or two commissioners to talk about transition preparations. That is on the agenda for executive session, and I will go into some detail at that time. But I do want to say at this point in the agenda that staff has been working hard to address the infrastructural, if you will, issues, ensuring that there's continuity of staff, that there's continuity of facilities, that the website will be converted over, that the various applications, online applications, that users and others utilize in order to access our information, file reports and so on, are all being taken care of so that when the new statute goes into effect on July 8, all of the facilities we anticipate, and lots of work is being done on many fronts to ensure a smooth transition of all of the mechanics that staff can manage. But I will report in more detail on more specific items in executive session. But thank you.
I think the most important thing, or point to stress in your comments, is that the work of the staff will continue. there will be continuity in all areas of the office and will continue until the commission is assembled. And I appreciate that, and I know that the staff will continue to do an excellent job in providing the services to the state and the other public servants that serve the state. So, having said that, Commissioner Braun, do you have a comment?
I just wanted to say, as one who's been on the transition committee of JCOPE, I wanted to thank Executive Director Berlin for running the committee and bringing to us what's being done by staff, which we wouldn't have been aware of in such great detail, and Executive Director Berlin doing such a good job in trying to make the transition from JCOPE to the new commission as smooth and as efficient as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Braun. Is there a vote to go into executive session? Is there a motion? Motion by Commissioner Jacob. Second. Second by Commissioner DePiero. We could do a roll call.
Judge Braun.
Vote.
Yes.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner DePiero.
Yes.
Commissioner Fisher.
Yes.
Commissioner Gersman.
Yes.
Judge Henricks.
Yes.
Commissioner Jacob.
Yes.
Commissioner Levine.
Yes.
Commissioner McNamara.
Yes.
Commissioner Weissman.
Yes.
Judge Yates.
Yes.
Chair Nieves.
Yes.
Okay, motion unanimous, motion passes. Please stand by. Mr. Chair, we are back in public session.
Thank you, Walter.
Are we on there?
Right,
Yes.
Are we on?
Executive Director Berlin, do you have a announcement for public session?
I do. In executive session, the Commission discussed matters related to litigation and legal advice. The Commission discussed matters related to the transition to the new Commission on Ethics and Lobbying in Government, effective July 8th. The Commission approved an amended settlement agreement in one matter. The Commission authorized steps in several investigative matters, closed 5 matters, referred 1 matter, and discussed several other investigative matters. In addition, the Commission authorized the release of a letter to the Inspector General from the Commission. And before we close, I'd like to take this opportunity, although there are 10 days more before the Commission sunsets, I do want to thank the Commission and the Commissioners, past and present, for giving me the opportunity to work with them and with the extraordinary group of exceptional people at every level who have made this agency the extraordinary ethics and lobbying entity that it is. I want to thank my executive team, Keith St. John, Emily Loeb, Carol Quinn, Walt McClure, Steve Boland, and until recently, Monica Stamm and Martin Levine, and of course, Mariana Cadiz, not only for the incredible work they and their teams do and have done every day to serve the people of this state, but for teaching and supporting me throughout my comparatively brief time here. It's a cliche, but in this case, it's spot on. It's been a true honor to serve alongside them and to have had the chance to do some small part in facilitating their work and the incomparable work of the 50 dedicated public servants who work here. Everyone in this state should be thankful that these true believers in good and responsive and transparent government, and above all, ethically principled government, have been willing and eager day in and day out to do all the good and hard work they do in the face of so many challenges. They say that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and I don't know if that's true, but I do know that challenges big and small and from whatever quarter or motive make good, hard-working people even more determined to do the right thing. And that's what has impressed me most about everyone here. May they never lose the will and the principled tenacity to always do the right thing, and may they always succeed. I want to thank Chair Nieves for his excellent leadership and his predecessors as well for theirs, and I wish everyone Godspeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Director Bergman. I want to thank all the commissioners for their service on the commission, and I'll ask for a motion to close. Motion to adjourn the public meeting. It has to come to an end.
One last time.
I move to adjourn.
Second by McNamara. McNamara on the second.
Okay,
And
one last time.
favor.
Judge Braun,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner DePiero,
Yes.
Commissioner Fisher,
Yes.
Commissioner Gersman,
Yes.
Judge Hendricks,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacob,
Yes.
Commissioner Levine,
Yes.
Commissioner McNamara,
Yes.
Commissioner Weissman,
Yes.
Chair Nieves.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Have a good day, everyone. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Who made and seconded?
McNamara seconded.
Jacob and McNamara.
Good job.